guys, welcome to J Plays. I am Iceman, and this is the latest in my devlogs for my work on Nanatama Chronicle of Dungeon Maker, or as I like to call it, Dungeon Maker 3 for the Sony PSP. This is the first devlog which is kind of where I have the days kind of in a incomplete state, but that's only because I've been spending the bulk of my time on other things. Let me bring up my notes just to see where I was at as of the point in time when I did the last video. It's always good to have these. Gives me a nice little refresh. Okay. Okay. So at the end of the previous video, we had milestone 10 done, which, let me check again. So I had, at that point in time, we had everything, I think, from days 11 to 12 done. Since that point in time, we've now got the days up to day 13. So every bit of content, it's mainly just everyday quick conversations that happened. There wasn't really that many in the way of long ones. That was until I got to some extra stuff in the dungeon, but I've done those ones now as well. So let me think. So the main bulk of what I've been working on for the past week has actually been more behind the scenes. So I did say, you know, I've done up to, actually I've done up to day 15. So day 15, I've done the morning, everything up to day 15 of the morning, and most of the afternoon's done. But the last probably about 4 or 5 days, I've spent primarily working on the rulebook to get all of that done. So I'm glad to say that all of the rulebook has now been translated. So, I mean, it's not perfect. I am working within strict limitations, but I've translated as much as I could fit. Now, the good side is, with all this stuff, you can just read the FAQ that I've been putting together. It's like gameinfo.txt, and that it's got everything in there. So you get to read everything unfiltered, like unminimalized, I should say. But there's some cool stuff that's been translated along the way. Now I've got to try and think of what I was up to. So in the previous one, all the main things like daily flow, protection, and attributes was done. Things of town basics for going to town was done. The rulebook entries for all of the town facilities I'd already done. Most of the dungeon stuff was done, but a couple of entries have been nearly done. So now, there's quite a few actually. So this entry on ops, which is like supposed to be like operations, so like daily operations kind of stuff. So that gives you a rundown on like the different things you can do. Now you can read about the ruins and like how it functions. There's not a lot there. You can read about battle actions if you want. You can read about orb characters, as you see here. We can read about returning. Again, apologies, but it's just I'm faced with limitations in spacing, like in how long the Japanese words are. So it so sucks. Like I just want to put things in proper detail, but I just can't. You can read about the mystery dungeon anyway. In the item menu, most of this was already done. There's a few extra bits. Now you can read about the item bag. This one was already done. Food was already done. Smithing materials were already done. Key items, so this was a quick one to translate. Now all the entries under equipment are done. So you can read about weapons, armor and accessories. Special effects, which is like special ability or stat boosts and stuff like that that come with armor and weapons and stuff. You can read about orb equipment. This one was already done. And that one already done. Now the under stats, there was a lot that wasn't done in here. So you can read about, what was that? God, when everything's abbreviated like this, it's. I'm gonna bring up my notes. Okay, let's see. Basic attributes, that's right. So you can read about the basic attribute types, what they all mean. You can read about weapon abilities, armor abilities. This one was already, yeah, I've already done that one. I've already done this one. You can read about AP attacks, this was a quick one. Now, here's probably the one that's of most interest because it's the biggest change in Nanatama, which is to do with what's they call the condition gauge. So that's, if you can even see the screen, if that little yellow bar that's around there, that's the condition gauge. So I've been talking about it when I've been going through the dungeon. So what it affects, like, your ability to use magic, place new building stuff and whatever. So now, after this, you can read about it and actually find out how it all works. So that's cool. Now I know it's actually bound to the player's current health level. So basically, if you have low health, then that bar is going to be low. You can read about the orb gauge. I kind of knew about this already from playing the dungeon, but you can read about the actual rules that are associated with it. Status changes, you can read about. You can read about research file and how that works. You can read about saving and loading. And you can read about communications. So the good side is, so that's all done now. As for what's done outside of this, so as I said, the game's been done up till the end of day 15. Well, yeah. I just have literally one more conversation left to translate. It's quite a lengthy one though. And then after that, it's done. I've translated also some additional player abilities that unlock once you have your experience up a bit higher. Because like with the character that I have, I've been walking around with a club. So I've been leveling up those things. So the club-related skills are now, that's these ones. Those are translated. And some extra items that unlock on the third level of the dungeon. Like you get a magician's cone hat thing, so that's done. I'm actually wearing it at the moment on my character. That is this item here, the cone. Annoying thing is I can't show the character with it on. Well, actually, yes I can. There we go. Yeah, but it's not going to rotate. That's annoying. But anyway, my character's wearing it, so that's translated. So yeah, so in the latest demo release of the game, this is going to be a quick video by the look of it. So yeah, in the latest demo release, that will have all that stuff done. And then I'll get back to work on continuing to get things translated. If you are only playing up to the second floor, and that's as far as you're going to go, then you should be all good. I mean, I think everything related to that's done, at least as far as I've seen in the in-game content. Where things are starting to move for me is with the third floor now that I finished mostly with the second. So it's now moving on to the third, which apparently is the first one. Just like Dungeon Maker 2, where you have to make an element-based floor and then open a portal to another dimension. So that's the stuff that I'm currently experiencing, like running into. Alright. Let's see what I can show, actually. Otherwise, this video has been very short. I won't save my progress, but if I just go straight to the next day. Just have to make sure I don't save. As you see, 3rd floor begins. Because in my state in the game where I'm up to, I just started on the 3rd floor. So let's go off to a. I'm gonna go to a dimension door version for once. And for me, that'll be fun anyway, because all I've been doing is translating rulebook entries for the last while. That's right. A floor. No floors to go. Oh, you can go to lower levels. Alright, so let's do the dimension version anyway. So in the dimension door is like basically like playing on the hard mode of your dungeon, and you get to encounter new enemy types that you may not have otherwise encountered. So since I've now just figured out I can actually go to my 2nd floor, we might run into some new enemies that I haven't even seen yet. You might even see the 3rd floor, a little bit of it. Anyway, so this next bit, for the next little while, I'm gonna pop the volume up, and I'll just basically, this is gonna become like a game stream for a little while, showcasing some gameplay. Most of this you've probably already seen already, but it's doing it through the dimension door, so you're getting to see like a more difficult version. And as you see, I am currently using the club weapon. Ooh. So that particular type of enemy only appears in the dimension door version of the 1st floor. It's a Black El Rayon. But this floor's maxed out. You'll get to see my 2nd very shortly. 2nd is on its way. It's still not maxed yet, but it's getting there. And my character, by the way, by this point in time, has mostly all leather stuff. So I've got leather armor, leather fouled, which is like a waist thing, leather gauntlets, and leather greaves, which is boots. For helm, I've got the cone wizard hat, the buckler shield, and got the short bow, club, and those root items. Let's get him. This is another enemy type that only appears in the Dimension Door version. So that's a vampire bat. Like a more advanced version of the standard bats that go around. They dropped the Vampire Fang. And who knows, maybe we'll encounter some items that I've not seen yet. Yeah, by the way, it sucks I can't share my dungeon that I'm working on with you guys. Otherwise, I'd be more than happy to give you something to play around with and, you know, see how you go in my dungeon. If you survive it or not. And vice versa, you know, like to be able to share other people's ones. As you can see, the game is in a very playable state now. Like, it's not the best. Like, not everything is in English, but, like, as much as I can get it to be. Almost finished traveling through the first floor now. That's this floor. Let's go to the second floor. Second floor, we may run into some new stuff that I haven't encountered. Can't go that way. Gotta go this way. Here's a enemy type that only appears on the second floor, which is a wild boar. I don't know about the third floor. I haven't seen enough of that yet. Nice work. I hate those spirit things. They're really annoying. They're easily the most annoying enemy in Dungeon Maker. Ah, we both missed. As you can see, this level is still a work in progress. It takes a lot of time to get the money to, you know, afford all the resources to fully upgrade everywhere. My treasure. Oh, my character's a bit exhausted. Yeah, that regained my stamina meter. Well, sorry, my condition meter. So that, if you remember me talking about condition, that's over here. That's the... Wait, I can't see it. Now, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's the thing around here. This is one of the room types you gain when you start on the second floor, which is a priest room or something like that, I think. Oh, no, actually a chapel. That's right, chapel. See, the only negative going to this place, generally, is that then you don't get to work on your dungeon that day. That's the only negative, really. But this mode is totally playing the game as a dungeon crawler kind of thing, you know? Goblins. So they're a good source of leather and other items. And they're the place, the enemy that I got my current weapon from. And in this game, they got a little bit of a speed boost. They definitely run around a bit faster. On their own, they're fine, but when they're in packs, they're more difficult. Good shot. Okay, we're nearly about finished for this floor. Maybe one more room left. Level up. Alright, let's see how the elevator works. Since I've been down one floor, can I actually use it yet? Okay. I can only go to those 2 levels. Interesting. Okay. Well, we can still go to the 3rd floor. There's not much, there's very little there. I only just started on it, so... I was hoping we'd run into some new enemy types on the 2nd floor, but... So there's probably not going to be very much to see on this one at all. So I mainly just made a tunnel. Tunnel down to where the ruins are. Yeah, which is so if you are going to be playing the latest demo and you do want to try out building on the 3rd floor, here's a little tip for you. This is down here, this section down here is how you get into the ruin section. There's lots of conversations with Field that happen when you're in there. So those ones I've translated all of them, at least the ones that I've encountered so far. You basically go in there and you find a lift and saying, oh, the lift's not working. And then when you go back to town, and I'll show you that bit of content now. So what would happen if we went to town? The part of it that I've done, so I've done everything. I say that and then, oh, god damn it. See? There we go. See, a conversation happens that I didn't expect. God damn it. Anyway, that was like a normal, everyday kind of conversation. Right, most of the conversations at this point are done. It's like just like little ones every like here and there kind of thing. Let's see if Sophia still says the same stuff. Here we go. Your face tells me your stuff. This is one of the main ones to do with the 3rd floor that I have translated. The look tells much. I predict outcomes, not futures. Might be important. What is troubling you? Wind spirit and an elevator. In the ruins? Let's take a look. Gaia, heed my call. Ruins, wind spirit. Wind spirit is needed. Will lead you to new land. I wanted to say a new land, but didn't have enough space. Gather wind monsters. Gather all in one place. I know not how. Frederick may know. And that's as far as I've got it. So if you go in now and speak to Frederick, he's going to say a whole bunch of stuff. And that's the next step that I need to translate. So anyways, so that does it for this latest devblog. So as I said, you've got everything up to day 15 in the morning now done, and all the rulebook entries in the game are translated, so that's great. Okay, so from this point forward, work will be will be all non-rulebook related stuff. So just conversations, items, new meals, what have yous that come up in the game. and I'll translate them when I come across them. Alright, so hope you, as always, I hope you enjoyed watching this devlog, and I'll see you in the next one. Guys, have a good one.